everyone, welcome to Yoga with Danielle. Today we're going to get started on our backs. We're going to be moving a little bit slower today, really focusing on our breath and holding some of the postures just a little bit longer so that we can relax and feel released in some of our poses today, okay? So go ahead and hug your knees into your chest if you haven't already, okay? Give yourself a nice big hug. Gently rock from side to side, just massaging your low back. Okay, good. We'll start with little circles with the knees. So keeping the knees together, we're going to circle the knees just about 3 times just in one direction. Again, just to massage the low back and the sacrum, and then reversing the circle 3 times with your knees together. Great, and then now we're going to take the knees and we're going to separate them, okay, and circling in the hip sockets here just 3 times. And again, you can use your arms or your hands to help guide your knees and legs around. And then you'll reverse the circle just 3 times, just in one direction. Okay, great. And then slowly plant your feet onto the mat, and we're going to come into cactus arms. So just bending your arms and your elbows here, and gently just start to come into little window wipers, okay? So just shifting, again, your femur bones just in the sockets here, in the hip sockets, just shifting back and forth with a little bit of a slight chest opener here in cactus. Okay, so just nice and easy and gentle here. Let your leg bones, your femur bones be really heavy as you shift. So again, it's like a nice massage for your low back, your sacrum, but also it should feel really nice in your hip sockets. Okay, so we're kind of cleaning out the hip sockets here with our circles and our window wipers. Okay, great. And then allowing your legs to just fall one more time in each direction. Make sure you're nice and even. And then slowly bring your knees to point up towards the sky. And then we'll come into Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. And I'm going to place my hands on my rib cage, but really anywhere that's just touching your body is perfect. Okay, so we start to get this tactile connection here. Feel the length of your spine. And again, if this is too much for your hips right away, you can always do this same exercise with your knees bent, pointing up towards the sky. Okay, feet will be grounded. So start to close your eyes. And then we're going to start to connect to our breath. So let's just take a few cleansing breaths here, okay? So inhaling in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. Inhaling in through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. One more, just like that. Inhaling in. Big exhale out through the mouth. And slowly start to seal the lips. And practice breathing in and out through your nose. And we're going to start to count the breath. Okay, so we'll start up to count 3, and of course if that's too much for you, you can always lower your counts down, and then we'll work our way up just today just to count 4, okay? So we're going to inhale in for 3 counts, and we're going to exhale out for 3 counts. So inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, pause at the top, and then exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, pause, exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, pause, exhale, empty out for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. So continuing with this 3 counts, okay? Or if you want to expand your breath a little bit more, and again, make sure it's with ease, you're not forcing your breath. We'll try to count all the way to 4. Okay, so inhaling in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And continuing to count your breath, whatever number you're at. Finding the rhythm of your breath. Okay, let's just do that 2 more times. Good, bringing your hands to the outsides of your legs, using your arms to help guide your knees together if you haven't already. And then again, giving yourself a nice big hug here, hugging your knees into your chest. Again, just massaging your low back. Great, plunging your feet back down onto the mat. And again, we'll do those little window wipers in cactus arms. So again, just kind of cleaning out the hips. This should feel really good after that hip opener to begin with, okay? So again, kind of moving and cleaning out the hip sockets here. Good, and then one more in each side. Okay, great. Okay, and then slowly we're gonna bring our right ankle on top of our left knee for figure 4 or thread the needle glute stretch. So interlacing your hands around your left hamstring, energetically pressing your right knee away. Okay, and then go back to that rhythmic breath. Okay, so holding this position a little bit longer, and I know it's one of the first like deep stretches we're doing. So again, just be patient. Connect back with the rhythm of your breath. If you like, you can even begin to straighten this left leg. And again, not thinking about pulling in so much that your tailbone lifts. You want to ground and lengthen your tailbone down towards the mat. So again, you find a little bit of resistance here if your leg is straight, and even if it's bent, you can still find a little bit of that give and that take, that press and that pull, so that you can go a little bit deeper into the posture. Okay, about 5 more seconds here on this side. Good, gently release your hands and lower your feet back down onto the mat. Unwind. Good, left ankle crosses up and over your right knee. Figure 4 glute stretch on the left side, interlacing your hands around your right hamstring. And again, just going back to that rhythm of your breath, that rhythmic breathing. Okay, good. And then if you'd like, you can start to straighten this right leg. And again, keep your tailbone lengthen onto the mat. And again, you can always press this right leg away to find a little bit of resistance as you pull in with your arms. Of course, let your arms win here so that you can get a nice stretch through that left glute. Good, and again, maybe about 5 or 10 more seconds here on this side, so we're nice and even. of releasing your hands, releasing your right foot down onto the mat, and then uncrossing your ankles here. Okay, so separate your feet again so they're about mat distance apart. Okay, so a little bit wider. And then again, we're gonna go back to those cactus arms. We're gonna let our knees fall over to the left. And we're gonna pause here in this twist. Okay, so staying here, or if you'd like, you can take your left ankle and cross it over your right knee. Okay, and again, this isn't to force your right knee down, it's just to add a little bit of weight, and you can think about your right hip bone maybe going up towards the sky, up towards the diagonal a little bit, so you get a little bit of a counter stretch here. So again, the hip's not dropping down towards the mat, it's lifting up towards the sky. Good, focus can be anywhere that feels comfortable on your neck. Okay, unwind your ankle, and then slowly bring your knees back up towards the sky. And again, keep your feet as wide as your mat, keep them there as you drop your knees over to the right. And then same thing, okay, right ankle over the left knee if that feels good. And then again, thinking about not dropping everything down towards the mat. You want to kind of press and lift your left hip a little bit slightly, like diagonal, so your hips pressing away from the floor, and you might get a nice little stretch through the IT band, maybe a little bit in the psoas, just depending on how tight you are. Good, a few more deep breaths here. Okay, great. Unwind your ankles, bring your knees back up towards the sky, and then we'll walk our feet back underneath us. Good, bringing your feet together here. Okay, we're gonna cross our right leg over our left. Okay, so we're crossing up high in the inner thighs. So hug your inner thighs together, gently fold your knees into your chest. And again, here's our second glute stretch. You can grab onto the tops of your knees, your shins. You can even walk your hands down towards your ankles and let your ankles separate so that you get a little bit deeper here in the glute stretch. Okay, and we're gonna do this stretch again seated. Okay, so kind of just remember how it feels with your spine long on the mat, tailbones drop down, right? So we want to kind of resist the urge to kind of fold in and round in. We want to lengthen the spine. Good, soften the shoulders. Okay, good. And I'm going to switch to the other side right away by straightening my legs up towards the sky. I'm going to cross my left leg on top of the right, bending my knees in, and I'm already folded in. Good, hugging the inner thighs in. And then again, taking any of those variations. Okay, and you might start off with your hands on, your knees, and then you might slowly walk your hands down towards your shins and your ankles as you keep deepening your breath here. Okay, and again, don't worry about what I'm doing, or if you're practicing with someone else next to you, don't worry about what they're doing. Really focus on your body, your breath, and how you're feeling right now in this moment, okay? Every day is different, every moment of the day is different, okay? So just honor your breath and your body as we're stretching here. You are right where you need to be, and it's perfect. Okay, good. Gently release. I'm going to lift both my legs up towards the sky and just give them a nice little shake. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, hugging your knees into your chest. And then we're slowly just going to just roll up to tabletop, okay? So you can roll onto the side. You can rock forward and backwards, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll gently make our way into tabletop. Again, take your time. Fingers spread out nice and wide. Toes can be tucked under or pointed back, and knees just under your hips, okay? And then inhaling, arch up, look up towards the sky for cow, and then exhaling, round your spine for cat. So inhaling cow, exhaling cat. Good, inhaling cow, exhaling cat. And then if you want to add any other organic movement, shifting from side to side, head and neck circles, go for it. Okay, again, this is just for you to wake up the spine, start to bear a little bit of weight in the hands and in the knees. Okay, good. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet in child's pose. Okay, so big toes together, knees out nice and wide, shifting your hips back and down. And again, remember, if child's pose is not accessible to you today for some reason, you can always come up into puppy dog pose with your hips over your knees, and then shifting down Okay, and again, arms can be kind of wherever feels good for you, a little bit underneath you. You can also come into a seated position, just folded over your legs, okay? So it's just really to find length in the spine and connect, okay? Walk your hands over towards the left diagonal. Good, gently walk your hands back to the center. And then slowly walk your hands over towards the right diagonal. Good, slowly come back to the center and pause here for 5 deep breaths. Okay, good. Last breath here. Inhale in. Big exhale out. Inhaling, shifting forward. Okay, and let's come in to thread the needle on our hands and knees. Okay, so right arm reaches up towards the sky. Threading the needle, right arm underneath your left, drop down towards your shoulder. Keep your hips stacked. And again, let's bring this left hand either under our left shoulder or just straight up towards the sky, okay? So when we lift up straight up towards the sky, we still want to keep a lot of weight in our knees and in our hips. Okay, but let your arm be heavy. Let yourself get a nice big stretch here as you kind of expand back a little bit to open up the chest and the shoulders just ever so slightly. Good. Exhaling, left hand down, unwinding. Bring that right arm back up towards the sky, and then lowering back down. Left arm reaches up. Threading the needle, left arm under your right, dropping down to your shoulder. Okay, and again, as you lift this right arm up towards the sky, try not to sink into your head and your neck, okay? Press away from the floor, take a lot of the weight in your legs, and then let your arm maybe reach back a little bit so you get a nice stretch through the chest. Good, right hand lowers back down, unwinding, left arm reaches back up towards the sky, and then exhaling, lowering your hands down. Okay, let's do a little half sun A here, okay? So shift back into child's pose. Feel the length of your spine. Slowly start to rise up to come up to standing on your knees and shins. Reach your arms up over your head. Press your hips forward, lift your chest up, start to expand back. Good, let's do a little cactus arm here, just open up the chest. Reach your arms up over your head. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, fold forward, back again, child's pose. And then inhaling, shifting forward. Okay, we're gonna sink our hips all the way down. Okay, you can move your arms as you need to, coming into a little back bend. And then bend your elbows and slowly lower all the way down. So we're just undulating all the way down onto our stomachs, okay? And then go ahead and bend your knees right away and then gently shift from right to left. So again, there are these window wipers again. There we go, I can't speak. Okay, so again, just shifting from right to left, letting your knees and your hips kind of follow along here as you shift. Okay, great. Slowly straighten your legs back out onto the mat. And come up into Sphinx pose, so elbows and forearms down, spreading your fingers out nice and wide, and then feel yourself really press down away from the mat. And you want to think about sliding those elbows and arms in so your chest is moving forward. Good, right ear to right shoulder. Keep pressing down, lifting away from the mat. Good, chin to your chest. And then slowly lift your head back in line with your spine, and then switching sides. Left ear, ooh, I got a nice little crack there. Left ear to left shoulder. Keep pressing the floor away from you. Keep lifting up and out of the mat. Good, drop your chin towards your chest. And then slowly rise back up again. Let's do that one more time. It feels so good, okay? Right ear to right shoulder. Keep pressing your shoulders down. Keep pressing your hands and your arms into the mat. Good, chin to your chest, head back in line with your spine, and then switching sides. Left ear to left shoulder. Oh, this side's still so tight. Good, chin to your chest. And then slowly coming right back up. And then slowly lowering down just to take a little bit of a break here. Okay. Check back in with your breath. Good. Place your hands under your shoulders. We're going to shift back into tabletop. Okay, good. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Okay, so you can kind of shorten your stance here. Stretch your right leg back behind you and just rock forward and backwards a few times. Okay. We're going to cross our right leg behind our left. So we're going to cross it over to the left. Okay, we're going to hug our knees in. So again, this is the wrapping of the inner thighs. Hug your knees in. And then gently start to shift back into child's pose. Okay. And again, everyone's going to look a little bit different. Okay, knees will start to lift up off the mat as you shift back here. Okay, and you can either stay here or maybe you might be able to separate your feet a little bit so that you can sit back. Okay, and then we're in that seated position that I was talking about earlier that we did on our back with our left leg on top. And then here's our little glute stretch. Okay. So again, pausing here, you can stay upright, you can close your eyes, you can even fold forward if that felt better, okay? And then I'm just gonna angle myself so you can see that transition again, okay? So again, I brought my right leg behind my left and then I shifted back, okay, into a child's pose. And again, I can stay here, or again, I'm separating my ankles so that I can sit back and I can sit on a blanket, I can sit on a block, okay, whatever feels best for your hips and your knees, okay? Okay, from here, let's go ahead and reach our arms out to the side. Let's go into those cactus arms. Okay, good. Let's bring our left arm on the bottom. So coming into eagle arm. So wrapping your shoulders, okay, or wrapping your forearms in. Sitting up nice and tall. Keep squeezing those inner thighs together. So stay active in your inner thighs. Navel to your spine. If you'd like, you can bring your elbow towards your knees. Okay, round your spine a little bit. Good. I'm going to unwind my arms here. I'm going to stretch my arms forward. And then I've got to use a little momentum here to help shift forward back onto my knees. Be gentle. Okay, and then unwind your legs and we'll switch sides. Okay. So readjusting in this tabletop, left leg's going to reach back. You're just going to rock forward and backwards just a few times. Stretching out the calf and the ankle. Okay, left leg crosses over to the right. Hugging and sucking your knees in. Okay, so inner thighs squeezing in. And then gently shifting back. Child's pose. Okay, I tend to get a deeper stretch here as I just stay in this twisted child's pose. So I like to stay for a few deep breaths before rolling all the way back. Good, and then again, you can separate your ankles, okay, so they just move out to the sides a little bit so that your tush has somewhere to go. And again, either sliding a block or a pillow, even a blanket or towel, whatever you have, if you need to elevate your hips, and then just pausing here in this hip opener. And again, any variation, arms out to the sides, arms forward for this first little round here, okay? Okay, great. And then we're all going to meet in cactus. Okay, take your time. Good. This time, right arm is going to be on the bottom. Okay, so eagle arms or wrapping in around your shoulders. Wrapping your forearms around one another, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe lean back just a little bit. Ooh. Good. And again, staying here, breathing. Okay, or start to bring your elbows towards your knees, round your spine. Okay, good. Unwind your arms. Shift forward slowly and gently. Be careful and mindful of your knees. Good. Coming back into your tabletop, okay? And then if you'd like, you can do another round of cat and cow here. And that is our sitting sequence for today, okay? Actually, let's do one more downward dog, okay? I think it's just kind of a nice way to kind of change your perspective, letting your head and your heart be below each other here, okay? Your hips be up nice and high, turning everything a little bit upside down. Okay, and of course feel free to walk your dog out, do anything here in downward dog that feels good. This will be our only downward dog today, and you can even skip this and press right back into child's pose. Okay, let's stay for 3 deep breaths. Okay, good. Lowering down onto your knees, okay, and then we're going to come back into that little undulations, okay, so you're going to shift your hips forward. You're going to drop your hips down first, okay, lift up through your chest. You can start to bend your elbows if it's too much of a back bend, and then slowly just lower back down. Good. Window wipers again. Bend your knees, gently shift from right to left. Good. Okay, and we're going to come into frog, okay, so hands under the shoulders, okay, you're going to lift up. And again, you can do this on your forearms if you need to, okay, let's do the left leg first. We're going to bring our left knee to the outside of the mat, okay, and then just stay here, or again, if you need to lower down, this is still a really big stretch here for the inner thigh, okay. So just pause here in your half frog. And again, arms can be straight, they can be out in front of you, they can be on your forearms, whatever feels good, okay? Head down, that's good too. Okay, good, and then we all know this one. Here's our twisted frog. We're gonna come into our twist this way, okay? So again, threading the needle, right arm is going to slide under the left, okay? You're gonna lower that right shoulder down, and you're gonna start to let your hips and your chest follow as you open up here into a twist on the left side, okay? And I'm just gonna adjust just because I have a little bit of not very much space because I'm right up against the wall here. Okay, good, and then again, you can look towards your left hand if you'd like. You can bring your right hand on your left knee, okay? And then I've been playing with pressing my left knee into my hand into my knee. So again, I'm finding a little bit of this resistance instead of pressing my knee to the ground, okay? We want to find a little bit of strength here. And then you can probably go deeper into the twist by finding a little bit of that resistance, okay? Good, a few more deep breaths on the side. And then we'll slowly come back the way we came, okay? So we're gonna make our way onto our abdominals. Again, take your time. And then bring that left leg to meet the right, and then we'll switch sides, okay? So right knee is going to come to the outside of the mat. And again, you can stay up if that feels good on your back. Forearms, or again, you can lower down onto the mat, okay? And again, your right knee is out to the right, inner thigh, getting a nice stretch through the inner thigh here, okay? And again, don't worry where you're at, whatever feels good for you as far as arm placement here. We're just gonna stay for a few more deep breaths here in this half frog. And again, you might be a little bit lifted up, and that's okay too, okay? All right, threading the needle now. Left arm under your right. Okay, and then we're slowly gonna start to twist. So again, let your shoulders and your hips follow as you open up here into the twist on the right side. And again, focus can be over towards your right hand. I'm gonna bring my left hand on top of my right knee, and again, this is all optional. And again, my hand is not pressing my knee down towards the mat, okay? I wanna keep my right shoulder blade and shoulder connected to the mat. So I'm gonna press my right knee into my left hand so I find a little bit of resistance here, okay? And then I get this nice big deep twist, active twisting, like I would if I was like in a high lunge, okay? So it's the same leg position, okay, just on our backs. Get a nice full deep breath. not to make us totally uneven, but we're just gonna stay on our backs, okay? So we're gonna gently start to roll onto our back. You're probably happy we're skipping the little froggy, going through it at least a little bit, okay? And then let's just make our way onto our backs. And then go ahead and fold your knees into your chest just for a moment. Okay, and we're gonna come into Baddha Konasana on our backs here, okay? So soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide, and then if you can, grab your ankles, or you can interlace your hands around your feet, and then press your feet into your hands. Okay, hands into your feet, and again, this is so my tailbone's not lifted, okay? So I'm lowering my tailbone down, I'm feeling the length of my spine, and then I'm using a little bit of resistance here just to get a little bit deeper stretch. And again, if that's too much for you, you can just kind of stay right where you are, lengthening your spine onto the mat. Okay, good. Releasing your hands and your feet down. We're going to come back into that figure 4 glute stretch. Okay, so right ankle crosses up and over your left knee. Interlacing your hands around your left hamstring. Okay, and then notice how this stretch feels different after all of those hip openers that we just did. Okay. Breathing here, breathing deeply. Okay, and then just moving through those stages or those kramas, okay? So you can stay here in figure 4, or maybe you'll start to release your hands and you're gonna cradle your right leg, okay? So my left leg's not doing as much work because my arms are gonna pull my right knee and leg, I should say, into my chest, okay? And if you want, you can set this left foot down onto the mat, okay? Or you can lengthen it down onto the mat, okay? Again, your choice. Again, and then I'm just gonna do a little rocking from side to side. And again, my leg is at an angle here. Again, just being mindful of my knee so I'm not torquing my knee joint. Just giving myself a nice little stretch, okay? And again, you can always come back to that figure 4 to make sure you're in that same leg position, okay? And kind of go back and forth as well. So we're doing pigeon on our back. Sneaky, sneaky, I know. Our peak pose, pigeon pose on our back. So, okay, again, just kind of changing in perspective, changing the way that we stretch just a little bit here, okay? Good. Same for a few more deep breaths, okay? Start to fold this left leg back in very slowly. Okay, come back to that figure 4 glute stretch just so that you can readjust. Good, and then slowly lower everything down. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. So figure 4 on the left ankle over the right knee, interlacing your hands around your right hamstring. Again, kind of notice how this left side feels. Don't judge too much, okay? We'll have plenty of time to get that left side to feel just as good as that right side, okay? So again, staying here in figure 4, this is the stretch, okay? This is the posture. Or you can start to cradle that left leg with your arms, okay? So I'm really just grabbing my foot and wrapping my forearm around my shin here, okay? And then again, right foot onto the mat. This might feel a deep enough stretch for you here. Or you can start to extend the the right leg onto the mat. Oh, goodness. Good. And then again, rocking from side to side. So we're doing left leg in our reclined pigeon here. Good. And again, moving and shifting from right to left is totally fine. Again, just try not to compromise this right leg. So if you kind of notice your tailbone's tucking and your knees bent already, just keep it bent, okay? Don't worry too much about what stage or krama you're at. And again, remember, you're different every day, every moment of the day. So again, maybe today, straight leg is not accessible to you, but it will be one day, okay? Or not, okay? We also have our next lifetime to worry about all of that. And again, if you want to come back to that position to make sure you're keeping the integrity of this left knee, externally rotating out. Go for it. Good. I'm just going to stay for a few more deep breaths here. You can even go back to that rhythmic breathing, that rhythmic breath. Right knee starts to fold in. We'll come back to that figure 4 glute stretch shape. Good. Slowly release your legs and then slowly plant your left foot onto the mat. And then again, we'll go back to those little window wipers. Arms can be in cactus, gently shifting from right to left. Oh, this should feel really good. Good. And then when you're ready, you'll start to stretch out into Shavasana. Let your breath go. So take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. Allow yourself to be heavy on your mat. Let your mat and the earth hold you up. Feel the support from the ground underneath you. Slowly start to deepen your breath, bringing awareness back into your bodies. You can shift your head from side to side. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and when you're ready, you'll stretch your arms up over your head. And then slowly just making your way into a seated position. Take your time. Good. Bringing your hands together at your heart center. Take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you later.